Hi YouTube. This is going to be one of them videos where I split it because I have got to use the better camera on the back side of this to truly show you what you're still not going to be able to see it. I tried to find a spot in my house with last night I posted a video after I came back and no, if anyone is wondering, I am not hungover. I hadn't really drank. I had maybe 2 beers in the last 2 months. And I had 3 beers with Elliot over at Helm Brewery. And one of them was like a 9% called Dark Water over at Helm Brewery. It was really good though. And I told them they should never sell that in a growler. Okay, putting off what's happening right now. So I got the opportunity. Elliot let me have his one-of-a-kind SM100 Stinger. And I'm truly thinking about holding it hostage because it's not that I like the design. It's awesome. It's an awesome design. It's not that. It's the fact that it is a one-of-a-kind. But I think I'll be okay because like I said last night, you can see some of the bronze accents in here and that really super hot pivot that was not the same. It's not the same as it was. My pocket clip's bronze now. All the little accents, you're not going to be able to see it real well, are bronze. This is a one-of-a-kind, so I will give Elliot back. Maybe just keep the case. So, I sharpened Elliot's knife, and I wanted to do a quick video. I told him I was going to guest blade it, but I don't want to hold on to it, so I'm going to do it now. I have other knives on the counter that I'm going to try and get out today, but I am going to get this video done, get those knives done, and I'm going to get this back into Elliot's shop today. I wish you could see the colors on this, and that's not capturing it too bad, but what you're not going to be able to see, because I tried it already. Well, maybe a little bit. I found some pretty good light. Is this, look at that edge. I did that. That SM100. Now, I'd never done anything with SM100. I'm going to flip this camera around in just a second. So it was more of a, I know that there's going to be more makers make knives in this, and I will right now say, last night I said something, I used a word that should never, ever be associated with SM100. I said steel. There's not a bit of iron in this. SM100 is a very unique alloy. Elliot, if you ever want to know anything about it, hit up Elliot. He's the guy to talk to. He knows everything about it. It's an alloy of nickel and titanium. It will not rust because there's no steel in it. And I didn't know how it was going to work. It took a very nice edge. But I will say, I don't like working with it freehand on my... Some of the stones cut well, and then some of them wouldn't. And this was a learning curve for me. My water stones didn't really want to do such a good job on it, while my ceramic stones did. Some stones, it would load. I mean, it loaded my Naniwa, my 5,000 grit Naniwa, and I'll bring it out and I'll sit down and show you. In a matter of seconds, it didn't make a slurry, which is uncommon. That Naniwa usually slurries up and it cuts nice. Nope, not with SM100. It loaded it. Now my ceramic that I used to finish it, no problem. It cut. It didn't sound the same. If any of you guys ever sharpen a lot of knives, you know that when you sharpen a knife, you get that smell that steel has when you cut it. It doesn't do that. It didn't sound the same. And it was really hard for me to judge because if you've listened to me talk, a lot of what I do is judged by what it sounds like. Have I apexed it? I can tell if I've apexed that edge by the sound. Not with this. I cannot tell. I would have to sharpen significantly more of these, and there aren't any. So just thinking. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna show you. But you can kind of get a quick look. But I'll zoom it in, and maybe we can get some. Maybe with the better camera, we can get a better overview of that. So I'm going to do that right now. So let's see. I get this focused in. And I don't think it's going to matter what light I use. Let me see if I can get... There's colors in here that are just not going to come through on video. There are. There's greens and stuff that you're not seeing, and it depends on how you turn the light. Now, we're going to look at the blade, because that's the important part, because it's definitely different. Hit the table with it. Good thing it's a wood table. Now, it took a really good polished edge. And I'm going to say uncommon for me. There's a spot back here on the heel, and just solely because of what blade. And I've got still there's some strop compound on here. But if you look, there's a spot back here where I did not get the edge. And solely because of what it is. I normally would be more aggressive and get down in there, but I'm going to have to show you. I tried, if you see, I hit it on a spot with a stone, and right there I was like, nope, I'm not going to be, it's not my knife, it's a one of a kind. So there's a spot back here where I didn't get real aggressive, and while it's sharp, it's not the same as this. So I will go back and we're going to get, I will try to get the, that's not going to work either because I forgot they don't work real well. I have a lens that we could use to try and bring it in, but look at that. You can see where the changing color that you get with titanium at times coming through in the blade because it's titanium. I polished the edge. What I did, there was a lot of debate in my mind as to how I was going to do it. I thought about doing it on the wicked edge just to, oh, there you can see some of that purple and green and the things, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing what Chris does with anodizing. It truly is. Let's see if maybe you can see some of those bronze accents. There they go. You can see the bronze in this. Chris did this in a matter of seconds. I went up, and I didn't need this. All I wanted was I had stripped the pivot because I'm a dummy. I did something I shouldn't have. I had a piece of grit in. I loosened the knife up, and when I tried to tighten that pivot back down, I just farm boyed it and popped it loose, and then stripped one of these two on the stop bar. But at any rate, back to this. You know, I got down here, and I was like looking at it. And I was like, I could do it on the Edge Pro, but when's the next time I'm going to have a chance to freehand sharpen something like this? And I love to freehand sharpen. There's something about it. There you can see where I didn't apex it because when I would try to get down in there on the stone, I would hit. And Elliot, I'm sorry. If you want me to do it, I can. I can't, in good conscience, damage the finish on this any further. So what I did was I did a hand. Now you will hear me talk about the fact that I don't like micro bevels. And it's not because I disagree with the thought process. I disagree with the way people are doing it. So what I did was I basically did a compound grind like you would with a micro bevel. So I started at about a 30 degree. But I increased my angle. And then I continued to knock those little shoulders off. And I just, by rolling the edge, when I would do it, I would roll it back and forth and just slightly. And so I knocked those little shoulders off. And I did a hand convex grind. So you get what you get with you get the thinning of the blade, but you get the stronger edge, but you get it in a rounded fashion where you're not doing that steep angle that takes a lot of this. Well, it takes work. I think lasts longer. So you might almost be able to see where there's some different angles presenting, and then it comes down, but then there's that really sharp edge. Now, it is phone book paper sharp. It is shaving sharp. Let's see here. And I know arm hair isn't a good indicator, but I mean, it's just that no pressure, just popping. Popping hairs right off. Let's see here. Can I get a good video? This is why I have no hair on my left arm, because I sharpen knives. Bald spots on my legs too. So, yeah, it sharpened up nice. And I have kind of figured out a way to do a polished edge that's still toothy. You hear the guy that designed the Edge Pro saying that, oh, well, you know, a polished edge and a toothy edge, one edge, a polished edge is this. And I don't agree. There's a way to do it. Right now, I'm going to kind of hold on to that secret. I kind of alluded to it with Elliot last night. But, yeah, I might share that information later. Lockup on this. They use the same radius style lockup as on my Farron Forge. NTAC. It's nice. Now, I'm not sure if it's just the nature of this. The lock feels different. And Elliot will be the one to tell you, SM100 should not flip. SM100 is one of those steels or one of those knife metals that's unique. It is the most unique. And Elliot has found a way to make SM100 into a flipper, because I'm going to tell you right now, everything else that I've read about it says that it galls up and you should not be able to get it to roll. And Elliot played with this metal and figured it all out. So This is by far the most unique knife I've ever had in my hands. And the more unique factor about it, and why I was so excited about this, and I sent links to it last night to my daughter. This scale, the first time that we went up, they were working on these. They weren't doing the blades yet. I remember seeing this blade, but it was not together, and this scale was laying on the counter. And my daughter looked at it, and she asked about anodizing, because she's curious. She's a curious girl. She's a curious little kid, and she's watched a bunch of knife videos, and they were talking about the how people anodize things. So she asked, and he was explaining it. He goes, well, you know what? Come here, I'll show you. And he threw this in a tank, and he anodized it. Now, this isn't the exact same color that it was, because he did like a mutant turtle green, and there was some purple in it, but it wasn't like this where it was more specific. So I know that they refinished it, but this is the one that he anodized and showed my daughter. So when I saw it, I was excited about that because I'm getting to show my daughter this knife all over again in a video. So I'm going to turn the camera back around and I'm going to talk to you some more. Okay, we're back. 3 times I couldn't get it to start the video. I figured out, now I'm a dummy. If you guys heard me say a bunch of times that my camera stopped recording in the middle of a video, I don't check my free space on my phone, and I forget to delete my videos off my phone when I load them to YouTube. I don't think about, so I did check this time, made sure I had plenty of room, deleted a bunch of stuff. So, in conclusion on this, metal, not steel, said it again earlier when I had the camera flipped around. It's a viable knife, metal. And the thing about it, and if you listen to Elliot, it is what people have been searching for in edged weapons and knives forever. It's flexible, but hard. It's soft, but rigid. It will bend and then resume its shape. Elliot said it best. It's almost like a non-Newtonian fluid. It's like silly putty. Silly putty's soft when it rests, but when you apply force, it'll break. It's hard. Cornstarch and water. It's wet, it's watery. You can stick your hand in if you go slow, but if you try to push your hand in real hard, it'll stop. You can walk on it, but you can run on it. Because when force is applied, it has a structure that locks it up. That's a lot like this. When you apply force to it, it's hard, but flexible. It's a contradiction. It's doing things that shouldn't do. But like I said, I did notice that when I was sharpening certain stones didn't like it at all. Some stones cut it fine. My ceramic spider coat, that's super ultra fine, like a champ, smooth, polished edge. And then when I put it on a strop, my diamond strop, I have a strop because I wanted to really, really polish this edge. I have a diamond loaded balsa wood strop, and it's got this half micron or quarter micron spray. It didn't want to do anything. The stuff started laying up on it, and it's like it was pulling the diamond paste and right off the diamond spray right off of the balsa wood. But when I made here a few years ago and had misplaced it, and then went out to the garage and found it. I had made a strop on a piece of 2x6, and I loaded it with titanium dioxide, which is about the same as that. Awesome job. So it's weird. It does things. Even when I was sharpening it, and I'd be cutting with a stone that was cutting well. Sometimes throughout it just stopped and didn't want to cut. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, it's not loaded. I don't know. It's weird. It is weird to sharpen. Now, it could have been loading, and then when I had to clean the stones a lot. Not that there's so much metal coming off. It's just it didn't really build a slurry like I would expect a steel to. So I know this is a long video, but this is something that's awesome, and it's the only chance I'm gonna get this. I have another guest blade coming for my YouTube channel, and once again, I love you guys. You're great. Some of the comments. I have went through my stuff, and I'm proud to say, while I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I really don't have that many likes, I have 0 downvotes. So apparently If you guys don't like my videos, you just don't want to tell me. You can go ahead and tell me. So I'm going to get this done. I'm back in its box. I'm going to finish cleaning it up. It still has some titanium dioxide off the strop and everything, but I got done and I just want to do it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. I go over here and I'm going to grab a piece of phone book paper. It is that sharp. All of Elliot's knives are really well ground. Now, if you were to look, and I'm going to say something because I don't want you guys to take this as a hit on quality. If you see the video, there's some spots where the edge is wider, in spots where it comes down. By nature of it being a hand ground blade, there's going to be some differences. I get that in my NTAC. A machine ground blade is a lot of times, ooh, I'm crooked. It is a machine ground blade is going to be in a collet, or I'm sorry, not a collet, in a mount. A machine's going to grind it the same way every time. This is a hand ground blade. This is a hand ground blade. You're going to have some areas where you see where the edge looks like it's wider and things like that. So with that being said, it's the nature of it being a hand ground blade. So long video. I apologize, but it's amazing. And the fact that I got to do it is amazing. Thank you very much, Elliot. I'm going to take this back up to him today. I've got a straight razor to sharpen that is going to go to a guy that's up there. I need to clean this up a little bit still because it's still dirty. I did a lot of cutting on it. I didn't take off a lot, but you know, I did multiple step downs and then rolled those shoulders off and rounded it up. And so there's a lot of grit and nastiness down in there. And when I wiped it off the first time, that's when I started noticing all those interesting colors because I had hand oil and stuff all over it. And like I said, I hadn't drank in a while, and I had a couple beers up there more than my buddy Greg drove back in my car because I wasn't fit to drive. But so the video last night, smooth. The video last night was short, and it was just me being happy and goofy. And once again, Isabel, my daughter, I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you this morning. You were already asleep. So this morning here, last night there. So enjoy your trip to Japan. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.